Ho ho ho! Work. Hey everyone, welcome to Broken Carnivore. My name is Kelly. I'm glad you're here for the next hour, maybe hour and a half. It's going to be a pretty good show, and I am super excited because the last time I went live stream, I had some kind of goof up, and I learned from that mistake, and now I am here. So, welcome everybody. I'm glad y'all here. I want to say hi to a few people that's here. First one that came in is Granny Boo. Hello from Oklahoma. I hope everything is doing good down there. I know they had some wildfires, and definitely be praying for you all in Oklahoma. And um, I'm hoping that those are resolved and get that plenty of rain that you all need down there. We all need rain all over, especially here in Missouri. We're in a drought, and it's definitely cold here. It's not as cold as some places, but it is cooler than what we used to have. And fall spring went away, but it's coming back again on Tuesday. So I'm hoping that winter's over with. I don't mind snow. I just hate snow removal because I have work. But and then we have my good friend Jerry. She said hello from Wisconsin. She was telling hello to Granny Boo, and I am beyond grateful that she is here. And I met her back in Montello last year in July. Had a great conversation. She lives up there in Wisconsin, not too far from where Carrie Mann is. I don't know, maybe an hour or two, maybe up a little farther, but I know that she lives in Wisconsin, and I'm looking forward to being, with her and Amy and them this October at Keto Palooza in Louisville. We got another one. Go down here. Got Lance said, "Good afternoon, Kelly and all. I'm glad you stopped by today. How's the weather up there? I know North Dakota's gets pretty cold in the wintertime, and I know I've never been there. I'm hoping that is one of the states I do get to see in my future. I have been to South Dakota, but never been to North Dakota. But looking forward to someday. I'm glad you stopped by, Lance." And then we got Brian. Good afternoon, everyone. Hey, Brian, I'm glad you stopped by. Brian is definitely one of our fellows in the chats that is through Kilts, through our small family group with Rick and Jerry, Amy, um, Aaron, Booby Goats. We're just this is one thing I love about our community, that we are a small, we are like family, and we're all together. And I'm glad you stopped by, Brian. I'm hoping people will hoping people will stop by later, but that's okay with the ones. We'll have a great view. Lance was saying our fall spring gave the way, and we had below zero temperatures the last week, warming up again starting tomorrow. Yeah, that's the same here in Missouri. We got one more below average. It's not that bad. It's in the 30s. It's probably 32 today, but it'll be more about 39, but then back almost 60 here in Missouri. But I know out there in the East Coast, they are getting ready to have a blizzard, and I remember the only blizzard I remember in my lifetime was in 2011, and that was not pleasant to go out into a blizzard to bottle feed baby goats. It is just not good. So I do have some exciting. I'm gonna see if I can expand this. There we go. Kind of had a little black background. That way I have the full picture. I know I've been through one of those, only one in my lifetime. So here in Missouri, we don't have winters. We have spring, winter. We do have our cold spell. Our coldest time of the year is January. Sometimes it's February. Last year we had more of a cold spell last year, but a lot of times we end up getting back to normal, and sometimes we get warm. And I am looking forward to the next 29 days, which it'll be the first day of spring, and it also will be my mom's birthday. So when it comes March 20th, I know spring is here, and I also know it's my mom's birthday. And that's one of my favorite days, is because I'm looking forward to the nice year, the nice summer. So, well, one of the things that I was going to talk, and I'll probably going to do I might do an open panel today. And the one thing I want to do is, the thing is before I start, to share that link here in a minute, I want to talk about one thing I am expanding on my journey, on this carnivore journey, is um I have, when I started this a year and a half ago, it's 571 days. And the one thing that I had, I learned, there's ups and downs, there's struggles. I never had any struggles. I never fallen off the diet. I may have a little too much dairy here and there, but not too much. But I lost almost 70 pounds. But I got to a certain point where my body was stopped losing weight, and so I end up continuing. I continue to thrive, and I never had any chronic inflammation and stuff. I have mentioned in videos in the past, and have mentioned that I do have a bad hip, but the one thing that now is, my weight slowly crept up. My clothes don't fit smaller, none like that. Could it be I may had a little too much dairy? Maybe. Could it be the effect? Could be. May not be. Could it be that I may have to maybe too much protein? I don't know. Maybe. So, could I have muscle mass put on? It possibility. Those all those could be the possibilities. But the thing I wanted to do, and it upset me? No, it wasn't alarming, and I didn't get depressed. I didn't get upset, because that's one thing I don't want to do. And the thing that I wanted to do is called a change up. I wanted to do a video on this, but unfortunately, I want to do a video, and I may still do a video on this change up. And the one thing I did change up is, I started last Friday. I went 1 meal a day. And well, the reason why I'm doing that is because I'm changing up, and I'm also doing what they call, every 1 pound, 1 gram that of protein you eat is also per 1 pound of ideal body weight. I got that information and stuff from Lily Kane. Many of y'all know Lily Kane here on YouTube. She has great information, and if you email her, she reaches out to you. So she is really, really good. So the one thing that I am doing is, I'm doing this OMID, 1 meal a day. Sometimes we have to be careful, I guess. Today, it depends on what it is. And we've been saying this kind of stuff: fasting, feasting, fasting, famine, 1 meal a day, 2 meals a day, intermittent fasting. But same reason, we have to be more careful. And I'm not promoting, you or anybody out there, oh, do 1 meal a day. This is my journey. This is what I want to do. I have to change up. But YouTube may see this and say that you're promoting, it's a violation. You're promoting a unhealthy, eating disorder, which it's not. I'm not promoting. I know this happened. One of our fellow YouTubers, Carnivore, in the community, had that happen. He had a great video. He's sharing his journey, what he's doing, why he needed his change up. The same thing for me. I'm changing it up. I'm doing, for the next 30 days, I'm doing 1 meal a day. And where I can, fast, and then I want to prepare myself to a long-term fast. That's my goal. And it's because I know that, I want to get down. I want to get to my ideal body weight. And this is the one thing I have to do, is change up. It's just a change up. I'm still eating over 200. right now 200 grams of protein a day. I'm making sure I have my fat in the mill. Like yesterday, I had a matter of fact, I have it written down because I recorded it here yesterday, and I had one chuck roast, which is 1.77 pounds, which is 28 ounces, which is 154 grams of protein. I had 6 eggs, 36 grams of protein. I added one more egg on that because I had 7 in it. So that was an extra 6 grams. And I decided to do 6 pieces of thick cut bacon, which it was 5 grams a piece on the package, which it equaled to 36 grams. So, and I miscalculated that. So let me recalculate this. No, that's all right. I'm sorry. I had 6 pieces of bacon at 5 grams. My mistake. It is 30 grams of protein. So I had a total of 226 grams of protein, which and I'm tracking it. And sometimes we don't worry about weighing, but I do that just to see if I'm in ketosis. Now, after a few days, I will not do that. I'll be doing it weekly. But so far, I'm doing pretty good. And I'm feeling good. But the other thing that I have to do a change up, and this is where I'm asking you all, and I am beyond grateful for this, is I hate exercising. I get my physical activity during throughout work, but as we get older, you don't have to go to the gym, but as we get older, we tend to get tight. Our fascia gets tight, our muscles get tight. And sometimes for me, I hate exercising. I hate to get out there and do this, but I have to put myself to work to turn this thing into a good habit. When I started exercising, I just did like stretching, hip stretching and stuff, especially to help my hip that is bad. And I noticed some tremendous changes. I noticed that I'm feeling better. It doesn't hurt as bad. I don't have the lift. I can walk without the lift and stuff. So yes, the hip is still damaged. In maybe a small minute, maybe this is because I have inactive muscles or weak inactive. I know I have those. So even if the hip is damaged, by doing these exercises, it may help the hip out, at least strengthening the muscles, getting them to work. And that's my goal, is to get the fascia loosened up, to get that to where I'm more flexible. And that way, as I get older, if I don't, then that fascia, your bones can calcify and it can fuse. And I don't want that. I want to be able to enjoy my life without anything hindering. And that's all I'm doing, is a lot of the change up. And I am very, happy that I have the results, but it's only been, this is day 3. And sometimes it takes a little bit to make a good habits. But that's why I'm here. And I'm calling out to my family that, hey, help me stay accountable no matter what, because that's what we need. Like the diet part, I got it down pat. That's good. The exercise part is where I need more of the encouragement. And I know a lot of you out there do encourage, and I love the encouragement. We encourage each other on each other's channels and stuff. So let me go say hi to some more people. We got Lewis. How you doing, Lewis? I know y'all are getting ready to have that blizzard if it ain't already started yet, and I hope y'all are staying safe. I know this can be bad. I have been through one blizzard or one major snow like this before, and it is not fun. So I'm hoping that and praying that you all will be safe and everything goes well, and no, you don't have no power outages or anything like that, and makes for safe travels if you have to. And then we have another one, Matthew Trimley. How you doing? I'm glad you stopped by today. So I'm gonna actually post here because that exciting news. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to post a link, pin this, and I'll try to pin it. And there you go. I got it pinned. If anybody wants to wants to come in, they're more than welcome to, and we can have a great chat today. And and how y'all are doing and what you do on your normal time, and hoping hoping everybody's doing good on this Sunday. See if I miss any more comments. Up. There you go. There's the link if you want it. I have it also pinned at the top if you want to come on in. One good thing about not only doing live stream, watching live streams, a lot of times you may be watching someone else's live stream while you're doing a live stream. And I know I just finished watching Helix, and if y'all many of us know her, and if you do, at least go and show her some love. Go check out her channel. Helix. I can't remember what it is. I know she goes by Helix, and let's show her some love. She did a live stream today, and it was awesome. She made the Courtney Luna's cupcakes, and they looked pretty good. I mean, I haven't made them yet, and maybe one of these days I will. But right now, I'm kind of just leaving it be on that, and kind of keeping it super simple. Maybe once in a week when I do my videos for my cooking videos, that they're the simple easy recipes, which most of them does contain dairy. That's probably where I have my most of my dairy. But the reason why I haven't tried those yet is because I probably end up eating the whole thing, and just like I haven't tried the oopsie cake yet. So one of these days I'm going to try that oopsie cake, but not right now. Speaking of that, Helix is here. Her ears must have been burning because I was talking about her, encouraging everybody to come over to see her channel. And yes, definitely give her some love, because she's out here sharing her journey, sharing her channel, and let's get her channel to grow. Let's get those subscribers up there, so that way she can have that encouragement. Definitely go to her channel. Jerry had a great live the last 2 days. I really enjoy listening to Jerry. And then also Mitch, old guy Carnivore. He's one of the I call one of the OGs there. I discovered him probably a year ago, probably around when he had his stroke. I didn't, when you start venturing and you start, when you're journeying, you discover one channel, eventually you'll end up with other ones. That's how I found Dr. Kiltz's channel, the Kiltz's live stream, the morning meetup. Let's see who else. Carnivore Quest, Larry and Cassie. I through them, I found Dr. Sean Baker, uh, old guy Mitch, old guy Carnivore. Let's see who else out there that I did earlier last year, about a year ago. There was many, and each one of us that's out here, we may have some different whys. Some of our whys are similar, some of our whys are different, but the one thing about it is we're all out here to encourage and support and share our stories of healing. And Mitch has an incredible healing story, especially recovering from a stroke that was not caused by the carnivore diet or anything. It was caused by something else. And it was amazing to see how quick he recovered and how sound mind he has. And he looks young, for 78. He looked young. He looks younger than what my father did when he was that age. And that's the incredible, amazing healing powers that we can have on the carnivore diet, or a whole foods, lowest carb we can go diet, versus the standard diet with the factory foods, the highly processed junk foods, the highly processed, seed oils and stuff like that. And it's just amazing how, when you go to this kind of diet, how you can heal so quickly. And just in the few days, just getting the movement I need and just getting that extra autophagy, just going to one meal a day. And especially like I'm spacing it out to where I can go through a whole day, come home, and I can fix my supper. That's how I'm doing it. Like today, I am pulling it over to after I get off this live stream. I'm going to feel. I am going to make my meal of the day, which is going to be very delicious eggs, probably in bacon grease or tallow. I got me some thick cut pork chops that I am going to probably put in the air fryer to fry, and I haven't decided what else I'm gonna have with it, but yeah, I am looking forward to my meal today. I'm getting pretty hungry, but I'm actually doing pretty good. I'm holding out, and it's unbelievable how your body you start getting, used to like the first day for me, I kind of got a little hungry because I tried to start this Thursday and I was going through but get towards before I went to bed, I decided to make me some chaffles. I should have not worried about it and held strong, got me some Maldon sea salt. But I noticed like I come back on Friday and of course, I got off work early, especially for me, having a vehicle down and borrowing my mom's vehicle. It's kind of, it's tough. My daughter gets off at school at 3, so we didn't have no way to pick her up. So so I got off, and about 2 o'clock, I ate my meal a day, which it was or not yesterday, but the day before I stopped at a grocery store, got me some eggs, and I got me some ground beef patties that was already made. And oh boy, they were delicious. And I cooked those eggs in after I pulled the hamburger patties out. I went ahead and cooked my eggs in that hamburger grease that came out of the ground beef, and boy, that was delicious. And ever since I started using tallow, some reason I started using tallow instead of butter or bacon grease with the eggs, and it has a great unique flavor. Now I know lard is great too. I love cooking with lard. I haven't cooked with lard in a long time, but I know like when I went to my grandparents when a kid, because they rendered their own lard. My mom told me when she grew up on the farm, they rendered their own lard, they butchered their own meat, their own animals, cattle, hogs, chickens, they had their own chicken eggs and stuff. My grand, even though they weren't carnivore or low carb, they also never bought hardly any store bought stuff. It was very minimal. My grandma, when she was alive, she made biscuits 3 times a day. She made everything from scratch, and there wasn't no recipes because a lot of us was trying to mimic those recipes that she did, and it was just a pinch of this and a pinch of that. So, well, the one thing about being on Carnivore, I don't have to worry about that. But I noticing over time as my grandma passed away, they still render alone, but here comes the store bought biscuits, store bought breads, all the junk in there. And over time, you've seen you can see your family ail, and just like us, a bunch of us ailed, and our health got really bad. I'm very beyond fortunate that I never developed diabetes of any kind. I'm very fortunate that I never developed any heart disease yet, even though I see a heart doctor every 2 years. The only reason why I see that heart doctor is because my dad had AFib. Wasn't for sure how AFib works. I'm sure that a lot of his AFib was probably due to even though he wasn't overweight or obese and nothing like that. My dad always ate the standard diet, stuff like that. He listened to his heart doctor, which his heart doctor's big on eating oatmeal, which I saw my dad. He'll fix oatmeal every morning, the instant oats in the microwave and with a plastic bowl. That's what he had every morning. And he always says, because, he just listened to his doctor. And of course, you know, a lot of us thought that way as well, that we want to want the we thought what was told was healthy, and come to find out it was totally the opposite. And so I am I'm grateful that I never had those. Is this, will I ever have that? I don't know. But the one thing that after learning a health journey and being on started with keto and learning about the seed oils and how poison is, and then turn around and had the going carnivore, how much healthier I feel. And now, as I'm day 3 in this one meal a day, eating this one meal a day with fasting for 23 to 24 hours, I feel much more better. I feel that there's much more improvements. Like the hip doesn't have as much inflammation. Of course, a lot of that I am exercising it and getting those muscles going in there, even regardless if the hip is damaged or not. And no matter what, maybe there's a 5% chance that it is just arthritis and that's what they're seeing. I'm going to give it a shot. And I know that I've been waiting to hear from the Columbia Orthopedic Group in Columbia, Missouri. I also know that it takes a while for you to get in before they get to you because it is a pretty busy, but why wait? Why wait around? And I can always continue to exercise, at least even if the hip is damaged and I don't see improvements with the joint or improvements with the flexibility on that hip. At least I'm getting those muscles around that area and around my hip area stretched, strengthened, get the inactive muscles active again. So that way, no matter what, that I'll be ready. And as I go, I'll still have, even if I have this hip replaced, I can always I can always, make sure I listen to the doctor. But as I go through the physical therapy and stuff, as they are working, maybe this will give a quicker healing process. So I feel that there is an importance about fasting, and just these last 3 days, just doing just OMID and doing the one meal a day. That is so. I see the results, and this is just 3 days. Just on this, I'm looking forward to seeing if what it's going to be in the next in the next 30 days, because I'm going to do this for 30 days to see how it goes. And then my next goal is to try to extend that for a couple days, for 48, maybe 36 hours, and 36 to 48 hours, and extend that and extend that autophagy. And I'm really looking forward to this. Um, so this is one of my goals. And but the one thing I got to make sure is to make sure that make sure I exercise, especially my lower hip, make sure I do the glutes, make sure I strengthen my core and stuff. So that way I can get at this to where I'm actually walking straighter and walking without a limp and stuff, regardless if the hip is not. So I'm pretty excited about this one. Art by Mary. Yeah, I'm glad you stopped by today. Boom, he says. Well, let's see. I'll talk a little bit about what kind of happened to me last weekend. I think yeah, I think it's been giving me the warning sign, but last Saturday, it kind of started. I noticed, and I had to start having a kind of a crank nose start, but then the truck started. And Saturday night, I had to go pick up my daughter. She was coming from a ball game, their conference, and I went to go get in the truck so I can go pick her up, and the truck cranked, but I had no start. It would not turn over. I don't know what happened. And so probably the good possibility that my fuel pump has gone out. Granted, the truck is 17 years old. The fuel pump has never been replaced. The fuel pump usually only, if you get 15 to 20 years out of a fuel pump, that's and more, you doing really good. So I'm hoping that's a fuel pump, but with this situation, it could be anything. It could be a fuel pump control module. It could be a crankshaft position sensor or a camshaft position sensor. It could be a relay underneath the hood that caused this, but I'm really hoping that it is a fuel pump, even though it costs more. That's one less thing I have to worry about. Yeah, I replaced fuel pumps in the past, but here I don't have the ability. And the one good thing I love about the truck the situation that happened was that the truck broke down at home. What better place to break down into your driveway? So that was a good sign. So no matter what, I got home. So I end up borrowing my I got a vehicle, but it's fortunate my mom. So as this week, I was hoping that I got my truck into the shop, got it towed to the shop, and we are hoping that I was going to get it back sooner, but unfortunately, with the sickness going around, um, it was they hadn't got it in. So yesterday, I went to go talk to the mechanics or the garage, which it's understandable when when someone gets sick, it gets passed around, and they were shorthanded, which they're going to get to my truck tomorrow. And hopefully tomorrow I hear from them, and hopefully by Tuesday I have my truck back and my mother will have her car back, which got me attempted to start looking for a secondary vehicle, which I want a secondary vehicle because I've been wanting to park the truck where I don't want to drive it as much, but I wanted a vehicle that's better on gas, like an SUV, to drive back and forth to work, and where I can go places like without having to take the truck. And it is better on fuel prices. So I haven't decided if I'm going to wait or go ahead. And I did find me some in my price range, and I found some that was really good in my price range that I would definitely would give a shot on. So maybe depends after I get my taxes back. I may see about looking on getting a secondary vehicle, put it into a nice little payment that I can afford, and make the double the payments. And if I do end up getting this hip, because if you end up getting the hip replacement, it's manageable through my short-term disability. And I see we got some more people. Oh, before we go, Felix says, "Are we talking tractors?" No, I was talking about my truck. My I believe it's my fuel pump that went out, Helix. I don't know. I just know my truck is broke down. It's in the shop, and I've been borrowing my mom's vehicle, and so that's what I was been talking about. Oh, Sandy's here. She said, "Hi, Kelly. I'm late. Thomas is live also." That's understandable. I think he was interviewing someone, and it's probably the only day that he can do it. I know he had to do that with Alia, so it's understandable. Um, I'm so definitely support Thomas. He does a lot of interview. He interviewed me, and he has a great show, and he has an incredible journey that he is healing from type 2 diabetes. That he's I think as he's going, his blood sugars are kind of manageable. It depends on day by day, but Thomas has got an incredible story that he's working his way on a healthier lifestyle, and hoping that one day that his diabetes is completely reversed. And so he's doing really good, especially with his channel. And he goes out there and he's interviewing. He has interviewed several people out there, and one of these days, as I go on this channel, my goal is to invite people after I figured out what to do and what not to do when you trying to get your prepare for your lives a week ahead. And and so eventually that's what I want to do is have interviews and invite people. So I'll eventually, when I get to that point, I will eventually will have my email out and where you can reach out. And as I'm learning more about doing banners and stuff on this live stream, eventually, as I get familiar, I'm going to definitely do some interviews on this channel, because I think it's great for all of us that has these channels that we share our journey on each other's channels, because we what I maybe have my why, maybe someone's different why, and no matter what, we're all here for one purpose. We're here to have a healing journey, and no matter what, encourage the ones that really struggles and be there and be supportive. And I know we have people that struggle. We have people, because food addiction is real. Sugar addiction is real. I can be the first one to say that if I when I was on the standard diet, before I did away with this, before I went to keto, I used to be the one that say, "Oh, I'm just gonna get me some nutty bars, Little Debbie snack cakes, Little Debbie nutty bars," and I'll say I just have one. I'll end up having the whole box, and it is real. Food addiction is real. Sugar is this is real, and a lot of us here, a lot of us around here is we all know we dealt with this, and that's one thing I'm grateful that, I'm not here and I don't have that struggle anymore. I don't have that desire. But just like I will say, no matter what, even when I smoked, when I chewed tobacco, all it takes is one puff, one dip, that's it, or one taste of some kind that has nicotine, that's it, I'm addicted. And it could be with that the sugar. And that's one thing that I have that in the back of my mind, is like, even though I don't have that addiction anymore, it's in the back of my mind, and it can easily turn the other way. And a lot of us will agree that same way. Helix, yes. Make sure, I know we have two live streams going on the same time. Make sure you get a chance to go to both of them, watch it. We need to make sure we watch Butter Bob as he does his first live, but we also need to be there for um Helix's interview tonight on Amy's channel, Keto Rock Stars. It's at 6 p.m. Central Time, 7 p.m. Eastern, or 7 p.m. Eastern for the people that's in the East. And let's give them both love. Let's hear Helix's journey interview tonight, or her journey. And I am also looking forward to Butter Bob. And I got to meet Butter Bob through Mitch's live stream that I think it was last Thursday. I got a chance to go in about 10 minutes there, and I got to meet Bob, and I never heard of Butter Bob until just the last couple weeks, and I'm hearing, oh, Butter Bob has returned, and I didn't know. So I clicked on his channel, and he had two great videos. And the last video was so humbly, it was so great. And I'm glad that he's here. I'm glad that he did come back, and I was very honored to get to meet him. And I'm looking forward to seeing his future videos, and I'm looking forward to seeing him make a comeback on his health journey. And so definitely, definitely watch both videos. Yeah, Helix said she needs to go take a nap after she made those cupcakes. Yeah, well, you get your rest, because we're looking forward tonight for your interview with Amy. Sandy says, make sure you hit that thumbs up. Definitely hit the thumbs up. Yes. The more thumbs up we get, the more that YouTube will push this video out, this live out, even after it's done, so other people can see it. Definitely. Give it support. Give us all support. Sandy says she really enjoyed the crustless pizza video. Well, thank you, Sandy. I'm glad you did, because no matter what, I could I make a cookbook and stuff. Yeah, I could, but a lot of the recipes that inspired me, I got inspired by others and by sharing this. And no matter what, I love to share. We're here to encourage and support one another. And I just, this is the one thing is I wanted to share. I want to encourage people no matter what. This channel is welcome. Everybody's welcome here. No matter what, as long as nobody is being negative and hateful and rude, and everybody's welcome. And that's all we can do. We cannot make people do what we do. All we can do is show our journey and encouragement, just like our family and friends and people out here. We can't make people do it. I'm gonna tell you, I'm an enabler and I hate it. I hate it so much. I'm hoping that, I would love to have my family be on this, but unfortunately, I cannot make my kids. My youngest daughter lives with me. I can't make her eat what I do. Now, sometimes she'll eat what I fix sometimes, but a lot of times I cannot make her, and I'm not going to make her. I'm going to let her make that decision. That's her decision. And plus, being at 16, it can be peer pressure, but I'm hoping one day that she will give it a try, and that's all I can ask from her. And no matter what, I don't have a problem with the junk food being in here, because I know that I don't want that. I mean, as Rick, our duck man, iguana man, says, yuck, duck food, because that's basically what I'll say is duck food. And I just don't want that. I don't want that in my body. I don't have a problem with it. So I'm hoping one day that, she changes. I'm hoping one day my older daughter would change, which she's trying to lose weight, which that's good. She's trying to get to healthy. And I encourage her. She knows the diet I'm on, but I can't make her do the same thing I do. All I can do is encourage her. And that's all we can do is be encouraging, because sometimes you don't realize how big of an encouragement you are in your community, in your household. And until you hear from others. And especially, I have a good friend that's a nurse practitioner. She's a sister in Christ. We go to the same church, and she shares my channel to others. She shares my journey with others and say, give this a try. He's lost weight. He's lost this. He's healing on this. Give this a try. And it's really amazing when you hear that. And I'm beyond grateful that even I have friends that they see my channel and stuff, and I thought, I just joke around, yeah, you can get a good laugh, and they said no, it's actually very informational, it's very encouraging, and they enjoy it. And that's right, there's a huge encouragement when you hear from your friends and your family and friends on your channel, your videos, and you're thinking, yeah, they're just wanting to laugh, a good laugh. No, they really said it's encouraging. And so I'm beyond grateful that I have that. See if I missed anything. Felix said here, all right, Kelly, I can barely keep my eyes open. I didn't get any sleep last night. Finally went to bed at 4 a.m. ish. Thank you for the shout outs. Well, you're welcome. Anytime. We want to make sure that we give everybody that love and encouragement. Jerry said, what? I will need to step out for in 10 minutes, Kelly. I got a coaching client call to make. Your lives are great. Keep coming. Keep them coming, friend. Yeah. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you so much. Yes, absolutely. You know, um, coach the healthiness there with our carnivore way, and we can make sure that we are be that huge encouragement. And I am that's one thing about it. We we don't know how big of an encouragement we are until we step out there. And that's one thing about the YouTube. When I started, probably August, I started my YouTube channel August of 2024. I put the first video out, and it was I didn't know which way to go. When I started my journey, when I started Carnivore, I decided I was going to give it one day at a time. That's because that's all we can do. Because at that time, I thought just eating all meat, eating an animal based diet, eating animal fat, that was healthy, but eating all meat, man, this is crazy. There's no way. We got to have plans. But my day one, when I started, I I was done. I didn't know I was hurting so bad. This hip was throbbing so bad with chronic inflammation. I had a knee pain that was hurt. My left knee was hurting. My ankle was stiff. My left foot had severe plantar fasciitis or fasciitis, and I didn't know what to do. And I'm like, I'm on keto. I'm doing clean keto here. What I thought I was eating healthy, and it's just like every day. And I was starting to get depressed because every week I weighed myself and I gained some more weight. And I got up to, I lost weight. Now, when I started gaining some weight, I've slipped off, fell on, found on keto treats. But when I decided to do strict clean keto, I could never shed that weight. It just kept creeping up. The pain kept creeping up. And I got up to almost 340 pounds. I was almost halfway to 400 pounds. And I didn't know what I was going to do. I was getting depressed. I thought this is hope. This is the way I'm going to end up living. I'm going to end up losing my job. I never lose this weight. I never have this pain go away. I'm going to be like this the rest of my life. And I was getting depressed. And of course, I'm just glad that as I was reviewing others YouTube channels like Homestead How, and found Lily Kane and Carnivore Quest and all that in my beginning of Carnivore, besides Dr. Barry, I I decided, okay, I'm gonna give it a shot. And I took one day at a time. First day, I decided I was gonna go home, but I decided to stick it out. I had some burger patties. I was hungry, so I come home and I was like, you know what? I bet I'll gain some weight. So I had 2.5 pounds of ground beef. I had 4 eggs over easy, and I had bacon. I'm like, yeah, I will gain weight. And I end up like, wow, I lost weight. So I tried it again. For 5 days, I did that where I ate just that, and then it come to back to work, and I'm like, oh, the dreaded I'll say my dreaded pain, the dreaded weeks back. The pains resided, and we had baseboards put in. I wanted to put new baseboards in this apartment. We had it completely done in 3 hours. I did a lot of the cut. I did all the cutting and the measurement. And I put it in. I had it done in 3 hours. It didn't hardly have any pain. And I decided, well, let's give this 30 days. And Jerry says, here's some hearts for you. Thank you. And guess who made it in came inside for an air conditioning break? I know it's got to be getting warm back down in Miami. Rick is here. Glad you stopped by, Rick. He is our 42 or 43 carnivore. He has an incredible story that he shared. It was out of spite, and he realized how healthy he was and how more confident he was than what trying to do what was healthy, what we thought was healthy. He did the opposite, and he's still waiting for that heart attack after being alive on this earth for almost 58 years. And he also has an incredible heart attack burger, and it looks delicious, but I can only eat half of it right now. But one of these days, I'm going to give it the challenge one of these days to eat the whole thing. But I know last weekend, Valentine's Day, Jerry had it on his uh on the channel. Rick was there. I came on for a little moral support, but I know Erin Booby Goat. I watched her video on making that heart attack burger, her version, and she ate that, and they said that she ate it pretty fast, pretty well. I watched Gary went from the beginning to the end on prepping it and smoking it, cooking it, doing everything, and I watched him eat it. But there was incredible challenges, and like Rick says here, that burger is a beast, and it is. It's like almost two. It's over 2 pounds or 2 pounds of ground beef, half a pound a piece, cheese on each layer, and a pound of bacon, and the heart attack buns, whatever way which way you prepare them. And that is a great recipe. Those heart attack buns. It's just very simple, and I depends on what the cheese I want. Sometimes it's cheddar, but a lot of times where I just want like toasted butter, I'd make those the heart attack buns in a chaffle, and I use mozzarella, and I just put it loaded up with butter and really have a good heart attack. Rick Rick is still working on that engine, and I am definitely looking forward to seeing Rick having his truck up and going. And for that, especially that year era, especially the 80 through 96, even though there's three different generations in there. um I grew up as a kid. I grew up on those 80 Fords and also the General Motors, but especially, the 87 to 91 and the 92 to 97. I had a 90. My dad had a few of those trucks, and those are some of my favorite era trucks. Especially even in the 90s when the Power Stroke came out. I really like that engine. I even had a 99 with that Power Stroke. My dad had like two engines, and then two trucks and it with that Power Stroke. Then he had two trucks with the IDI non-turbo 7.3s. They may not have a lot of horsepower, but I guarantee you it will pull down. It'll pull down probably every building there in Miami and then some because of that much torque. And they're really good engines. It goes as the 300 inline six. That's a bulletproof engine as well. Don't have a lot of horsepower, but it has a lot of torque. Oh, we already said Rick said it's a beast. Yes, simple, but yet tasty. That's what I love about those heart attack buns. And Rick had when I saw that video or saw the live stream where Amy was cooking the heart attack burger, and Rick was telling her, helping her through, guiding her through how to make this heart attack burger. Um, it it was a beast. And when I saw how Rick cooked the method, because I used to when I cooked with cast iron, with the meat, unless it's steak, I used to get that skillet hot, because I always told, oh, hot, get the hot. And when I'm cooking burger patties, after Rick said just put it in cold, then turn the heat onto the skillet, and it slowly, that is the best way to cook the burger patties, no matter what. Is you put your burger patties into the skillet, then turn it on. You don't have the issue of it sticking to your cast iron pan. And ever since I started cooking the burger patties that way, that's the only way to go. So the latest video, I know Sandy was commented on. I did one for it's called the crustless pizza, and that crustless carnivore crustless pizza. And actually that recipe was inspired when I saw it, and I have the copy of it. It was inspired by a keto influencer called All Day I Dream About Food. Hers was more keto. I never really followed that recipe. I just did my kind of version. When I was keto, the only thing I did was I got a no added sugar marinara sauce that I put in place. But on this one, when I did the carnivore version of it, I decided to not put that in there, and it turned out really good. And especially if you keep that render fat in there, that makes it even better. And then, as Rick was saying about the when you cook it that way, where you put the burger patties in a cold skillet, and then turn the heat on, it keeps the fat in, and it is so true. And then as you keep, I put mine probably a medium heat, maybe just a little bit past, and never had an issue with sticking. And the fat, oh my goodness, even an 80/20 keeps this fat in place. 73, or was it 73/25 or 27 is probably even better to have. But even at 80/20, that fat just stayed in there. And then what I do is, if I don't cook the burger, if I just have the burger patties, what I do is I'll just put I'll scrambled up some eggs, and I'll throw them in there, and I'll blend up that fat where they're inside my eggs. And whew, something about eggs and tallow or render beef fat, they are really tasty. I know lard is pretty tasty as well, but boy, it's so tasty that you really want to have that heart attack. Rick said, I have made my own fermented tomato sauce, the pacemaker pizza. And I'm looking forward to seeing that pacemaker pizza, because Rick had that really awesome heart attack burger. I'm looking forward to seeing his pacemaker pizza, and I'm actually going to try that. I want to try to ferment more stuff, because there's something about fermenting vegetables that, there is something about it. And I'm just wondering, maybe since the beginning of time, is that the way what we supposed to be doing, is fermenting? Instead of eating it raw, we ferment our vegetables. But over time, I know we were hunters and gatherers. I think we were actually both. I think they had agriculture, and we had gathering, because as the earth was populating over time, and as we're growing, we as they populated other parts of the world, you had to hunt and gather. I mean, what else you do? And I think as people migrated over, they also you know they also had their own animals. And when say there's a story about one man named Abram, which we know him as Abraham. We know that he was the father of Israel, a great nation. God wanted to make him a great nation, and he told him about a promised land, which he was faithful. Was Abraham perfect? Absolutely not. He had his issues, just like we all do. We're not perfect. We all make mistakes. But I know that they had grains. I know they did bread, stuff like that. Our breads was different. The grains was different. It was ground different. But I also believe that our main oils that we had back then was olive oil, or depends on what region, coconut in tropical areas, and where they did avocados, where they had avocado oil. But I think those were the main plant-based oils. There was no seed oils. There wasn't no toxic industrial oils. Everything was different. But I know that a lot of people not only use olive oil or avocado oil or coconut oil, I guarantee you they also use animal fat, depends on what they have. And I do believe, just like that, they had breads, but they also had the meat. I guarantee you they the ones that had animals and stuff, they raised their own meat. But I also believe that it's like the natives, our indigenous people here in the United States, in the North America continent. Um, they hunted, but they also gathered at the same time. So I believe that there was agriculture in the same thing, but also there was also hunting. They hunted for buffalo, they hunted and they fished, depends on what regions, and it depends on what area. uh they like up north where it's cold, where you cannot grow stuff. there's no way you can grow stuff in Siberia, especially way up north where it gets really cold, where the coldest city, all you can be able to eat is meat. That's all thing you can do. And I feel that, that's why I think animal based, carnivore, low carb, minimal amount of plants is probably what we are. We're not true carnivore. We are omnivore. We can eat plants, but I think it depends on how it's affected us. And like for me, when I was keto, especially the last year before I went carnivore, I was eating a lot of spinach and I was unaware of the oxalates, the seeds, how bad the seeds are, how toxic. I wasn't aware of all that stuff until I came carnivore, and I learned about oxalates. I learned about lectins. I learned about arsenic more, that a lot of things that we eat and not realizing, especially almond. I ate a lot of almond milk. I ate a lot of almonds raw. I ate nuts raw. I ate pumpkin seeds and all that, not knowing this. And I learned a lot from that. And the one thing I do agree with Rick said right here, all civilization did, they ate meat. I mean, it depends on what part of the planet you were from. Some was only meat and fat, animal based, only animals. Some may thrive on some grains and some meat, but no matter what, we all had meat. And that's one thing about it is for me, I feel better the way I am today than I did when I was in my 20s, when I ate 3 meals a day, ate the junk food, go to fast food and ate not just the patties. I ate everything. I ate the fries. I ate the um I ate the buns and all that stuff. I ate a lot of sweets and stuff like that. And now, being where I'm at now, I feel a lot better. I feel that, I don't have the chronic inflammation. Not all my hair color. I don't know if all my hair color will come back, but I know a lot of people that went carnivore that their hair was gray, their hair turned back their natural color. I'm seeing that in me. Is it going to come back? I don't know. It'd be awesome. That would be an incredible testimony about the carnivore diet, or, eating meat. But regardless, now, as I'm now doing this 1 meal a day, just change up, doing fasting for 23 to 24 hours, I feel a credible difference in it, more like a feast and famine type thing. And as I go, will I try to do a longer term fast? I probably will, because I know. I mean, I know that it's working great for me, and I have to do change up because the 2 meal a day. Will I go back to 2 meal a day or eat a 3 meal a day? I eventually will, because there'll be days like that. But right now, I'm just doing this challenge for me. And if any of y'all want to do this, feel free to do it. But don't do it because I asked, to say do it if you want to, and do it if you feel that, will this do a change up? Because, you know we know people here that eats 3 meals a day and eats 5 or 6 pounds of meat, and they never gain an ounce of weight, and they are the healthiest. And there's people that eats 2 meals a day and they're doing fine. And you know and that's great for me. I'll eventually go back to that, but right now I'm just doing the 1 meal a day to do this for the next 30 days, because need to do a change up so that I can um try to drop this weight, to have this second why I want to finish this weight off. So this is my game plan. Not only that, I'm just gonna try doing, because I'm not gonna starve myself. I still will get to make sure I get plenty to eat, because I'm gonna eat until I'm comfortably stuffed. And I there's no way that I'm going to do this calorie in, calorie out thing. It never works. The calorie deficit thing never worked for me, and it'll never will. And I'm going to eat until I'm comfortably stuffed and I'm good. I'm going to make sure I have my plenty of fat, so that way I'm good. And so far, these last three, this is day three. I'm doing really good on it. And so I'm looking forward to seeing what the next 30 days is, and see how I feel, and see where how I much more function by the movement, and getting movement more, especially the stretching and stuff, because it is getting nicer here in Missouri. Won't be long as spring, and I have a bicycle in my shop that I want to get out and I want to ride it. I think it'd be better for me to ride that than trying to walk with this hip, because I am getting the movement. But I have a gravel road. We have um um I can go down the gravel road. We have horse trails that are nice and graveled that I may, that's easy. We have a trail called the Katy Trail. It used to be the MKT railroad that they took out, and they decided to make a nature trail, all flat. And I just want to put my bicycle in the truck and go for a bicycle ride. And I eventually I want to take you all along. I want to do a video with that. And I know that's a lot easier for me to do, to keep that moment. That way I don't have pressure on my hip. And I think that would be better for me to get that movement. And I'm looking forward to this spring. I know that if this hip, regardless what happens, if spring comes, I am going to push the delay and wait until after this fall, because I do not want to be down. My hip is not going to get any worse. I don't think it's getting any worse. It hasn't got any worse, and I know it's not going to get any better. But I know with the exercise and the stretching, getting the tight fascia done, I am going to get this better. And no matter what, even if I have this hip replacement now or later or whatever, the exercises what I need to do around this area, it will definitely be a big help. And especially the cycling, it will actually keep that movement, and that way I can stay fit and I can stay healthy, because I think the biggest things for a human body to be healthy, and this is my opinion, and I think a lot of us out here will agree, not only the nutrition is the most important thing, making sure we have plenty of water with electrolytes because they are deleted, make sure we have plenty of salt. I think the sun is another one, but and sleep. But I think another key one that's most important, and I hated exercising, and hate exercising of any movement, getting out, moving around, walking, doing stuff, doing work, physical activity, doesn't bother me, never bothered me to do any of that. I just hated do regular exercising. I always got burnt out. But as I get older, for me, especially, setting a lot before I went carnivore, you know, my fascia muscles got a little tight, and with that is will be a help for me. But definitely the cycling will help the movement, because I know I did physical therapy like 3 years ago, and they put me on an elliptical machine, even though it was a sit down. It helped. It's like almost pedaling a bicycle, but it helped that out. So yeah, Rick definitely does a lot of cycling, and that's one thing about it is why, no matter where you're at, if get out and move, and cycling is a good thing. Not only that, you can save money on gas if you live in a big city, and everywhere where you can go, if you get run your errands where you can use a bicycle and stuff, that'd be great. For me, I can't be able to do that. I can't go to town where I live. I have to have a vehicle, but I do love cycling. I did it before, and I'm going to get back out there. And that's one thing I want to do is cycle. That's some of my goals this year, is to get back to cycling, dust off that bicycle and get out there and go. I enjoyed it. Well, it has come to the end of the hour. I'm glad that everybody stopped by today. Um, uh, the I know that we had some other live streams going on today. I know Thomas was interviewing, and definitely, if you haven't went over there, at least go over to Thomas's channel. He is, I believe, interviewing Miss Laugh a Lot, I think. Um, and I'm gonna hop over there after I get off this live to look at it. And like always, let's be kind, be positive, have a good attitude, and encourage and support one another. Oh, well, hold on before we leave. John said Thomas's live just went down about 10-15 minutes ago, and I'm gonna have to watch that. I'll watch that review. I'll have to watch the preview of that. Oh, he's saying that I think he lost power. Okay. Well, that could be definitely the answer there, because they're having he's in a bullet where he's located in New Jersey, where they're having blizzards a blizzard today. And Rick said here, Butter Bob is later. I am definitely looking forward to Butter Bob's first live that he's doing. Um I'm looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to it. And I know that possibly we may get to see Mitch on there tonight. I don't know if he's going to do that interview or he's going to do an open panel, but no matter what, I'm looking forward to Butter Bob, and I'm beyond grateful that he is back. And even though this is the first time that I got to hear about Butter Bob, got to see Butter Bob, you definitely, if you haven't checked out his channel, definitely go to Butter Bob and subscribe to him. And because I want to go back to look some of his old videos, because it is really, it's really great that to have someone that's encouraging, and and someone that has been doing this and started a YouTube channel 10 something years ago, that butter made his pants fall off. And that's what, he'll say that, and he lost a tremendous amount of weight, and had a health journey. And I know that, he talked about a little bit of a slip up and stuff and falling in, but he is back to share an incredible journey. He's here, and he's got that live tonight, 6 p.m. Central Time, 7 p.m. Eastern. And so don't miss that. Definitely do not miss Amy's tonight as well. If you have to watch both Amy and Butter Bob, I do it, because she's interviewing Helix, and we need to give Helix a lot of love and definitely support her channel. Sandy said, "It's thanks to me." You're welcome, Sandy. It is getting close, and I am ready to eat my meal. I'm ready to eat, and thank you. Before I go, I do see another one. Come on, let me. Aaron's here. I may keep this live going a little bit longer. Hello, Aaron. Thanks for stopping by. Aaron was the champion of the Heart Attack Burger Challenge. I didn't get to see her eat that burger. I got to see her make that burger, and that burger is a beast, but she ate it all. And I know Gary No Slow, even though he fixed it from start, he went from the beginning to the end on that live stream with Jerry. He did complete it, but it was a beast. Well, Aaron says, "Go eat your food." I'm good for a little bit. I'll stay on, because I know I'll stay on for about 15 more minutes. I know because I want to at least get off of here before Juliet starts. I know it's live tonight with Julie and Doug, so no, I'll stay on here for a little bit longer. I'm I'm good for a little bit. So I know this week this winter been kind of it was kind of a weird one here, especially we kind of typically have more of a it was a little bit more of a normal. We have these hot and cold, and we have at least a frigid, but I know other parts of this country rarely experience winter storms, and of course these are these once in a lifetime, and he and I know that a lot of people had ice, and then of course the we just had snow. We lucked out, but some places had frigid weather. Some places had was experienced well below normal, freezing areas. And then, of course, now today the Northeast is getting a blizzard. So it has been one of those weird, unique winters. And I don't know about you all, but I am ready for spring. I am ready for March 20th, and it's I'm looking forward to that. And Aaron said it was 70 degrees yesterday, and today it is 34. So cold outside. Yes, yesterday it was the 30s here. Fridays was in the 40s. Thursday started out being in the 60s, but by the evening it started getting cooler. But by Tuesday it's going to be back in the 60s here in Missouri. Yeah, just like it was earlier. Thomas had his live at the same time as me, but he lost power during the blizzard. Yeah. I hope everything is well for Thomas. I know it sucks when you lose power, and when you only heat source you have is either electric or gas, and that gas heat is controlled by electric. It is not fun to get to lose power, and your power will be out for a while, and it's not fun. I know out where I live, our power lines, because we are on rural electric, our power lines go through farms, go through woods, their shortcuts and stuff. And like, I think was it last year or was it 24? I think it was in 2024. We had a severe storm come through, and we lost power. Come to find out, our power line went down that fed the power our house, my house, but the people down the road, it had it had came down right behind us, and so it took a couple days for them to get out here to fix it, but they got out here pretty quickly. And I'm hoping that people, I know the people in these areas that's dealing with the blizzard and stuff, I'm definitely going to pray for them to be safe, and definitely definitely stay safe out there. And I'm hoping that Thomas gets his power. I hope they get their power restored. I know it ain't gonna be anytime soon, but I'm hoping as soon as this blizzard is over for them, I hope they get their power back on, because sometimes it can take days, especially when it comes to ice. It could take weeks. And I have seen that in my area where it took weeks. Rick said Milton's a menace. Oh, Milton can't be that bad. Rick said I had the power out for a month after a hurricane. I totally believe it. I seen it here in Missouri. I seen it here where areas where ice storm. We had a thick ice storm. I was very fortunate. I was younger. We didn't lose the power, but the rest of the county lost a lot of power, even for court towards the north, and they were out for a week or two. I remember when I was a kid in 19, I think I was in first grade, 1984. Yeah, it was 1984. We had a big ice storm in Missouri around Thanksgiving, and we lost power, and we lost power for at least a couple weeks. We couldn't even go to school for a week or two, and it was that bad. I can only imagine a hurricane. It can be bad. Let's see. Aaron said, "Milton is a sweet Milton's sweet on you, Rick." Rick said, "LOL," but Milton runs all over, climbs up, and knocks things over and attacks me. He's just showing his love to you, Rick. Yeah, they can be animals can be a menace. Cats and dogs has a different mentality. I know, especially when it comes to food. I think cats like to get in your face and get around you. They want the food. Dogs, on the other hand, they sit there and they beg, and eventually they got a drool trail going down from their mouth to the floor. Rick says losing power is fun when it is 94 degrees. Yeah, I agree. It's no fun when it's 94 degrees, and it is no fun when it is below 40 either. Let's see. I know one thing. I don't mind when it comes to the cold. I don't mind. I don't care for the real frigid cold, but if it's even that cold, I don't mind when it's cold. I don't mind when it's cold as long as it's nice and sunny outside. If it's cloudy, drizzly, nasty, wet, and wind blowing, that's when I don't like the cold. But if it's sunny, I can deal with it. I can bundle up and go outside and do what I need to do. Oh, we got someone else come in. Holly Springer. Well, good evening to you. Glad you stopped by today. And Aaron says hello to Holly. Rick said that's when time to fire up the wood power generator. Yeah, that's one thing I do wish I had on hand is either a kerosene heater, which my mom's got one. I wish, and if power ever goes out in my area, I just go over there and just stay with my mom where they do have a she has a kerosene heater. We do have a generator if we have to get a refrigerator or a light. We do have a generator that we can flip over and plug in into the main part of the house and run if we need to. Other than that, other than that, I you know I wish I had a wood stove because that's one thing I do miss. Yeah, it's a lot of hard work to cut wood, but sometimes that having that wood stove is beneficial. Ollie said, "Hi, Aaron. Long time no see." And of course, Aaron, same time they must have been over at Rick's live or at Thomas's live stream. Heat is easily just put a radiator in your home. Yeah, exactly. Like mom's house, she has a gas water heater, so the good thing about it is there's at least hot water. But the good thing about that wood stove, you can definitely do a radiator. You can actually cook on that stove. So there's a lot of good uses for a wood stove or a out well not so much an outdoor wood furnace. If your power goes out, you're SOL. But if you had a wood stove, you can cook on it, you can heat water on it, you can even be inventive and have it some kind of water radiation radiator and circulate water, and you don't even have to worry about gas water heater or electric water heater. And then of course, Rick says I cook with poop gas. Absolutely. Rick is a very creative, inventive man because he makes his own poop gas. He has he goes catches fast food. um, he's very he works on his own vehicles. He's very creative, especially with electronics and stuff. And through with old equipment that he runs an old mic through his computer system as a mic. He's pretty inventive, and especially when it comes to being thrifty. He is very thrifty, and that's one thing about it. That's one thing about it. If you haven't seen Rick's channel, go over there and watch him because you can go see him go to the canal, you see him bicycling, um, or you see him chasing his fast food at McDonald's getting his McDuckins. So Rick, I enjoy Rick, and Rick is one of those that he is a very, very likable guy. I am looking forward one day to meet Rick in person, and that's one thing about this. As Rick says, I like these smaller channels, and the one thing about the smaller channels is we are all like a community. We all come together, and encourage and we support one another. And that's one thing I love about Rick is that he's always positive, and he's always there, and he's always encouraging, and always making sure that he has plenty of guana and duck in his refrigerator. And if you haven't seen Rick, besides that, he has his live stream live at Rick every Saturday morning, but also every other Tuesday he is with Russ on Keto Cookout. You can learn on the Wild Kingdom of Rick Rodriguez on how to catch your parking lot duck, your parking lot chicken, or try to catch your iguana. And he is he and he's not in he'll tell you how it is, and he's very honest and he's truthful, and that's what I love about Rick is that he's kind, and definitely give him the support. Yep, I only watch real people, never celebrities, and that's one thing is like yeah, because sometimes when we get to the bigger channels, they are just like celebrities. And sometimes I think some of the bigger channels, even though they share their journeys and stuff, but sometimes they'll end up. Oh, see, oops, let's see what else. Is they sometimes they tend to forget. And one thing about the smaller channels, we're just here to share our journey. We're here to encourage, and that's what my channel is. Do I want to get monetized one day? Absolutely. I love to get monetized. I love to get paid. I would love to have a paid sponsor to sponsor my videos in the future. Am I looking forward to getting rich off of YouTube? Absolutely not. Because the reason why I don't want to get rich, I'm not looking forward to get rich. I want this to encourage people. The only thing I would love to have that extra income is to help supplement the cost of my live stream and software and my editing software and stuff like that. That's the only thing I would love to have, that kind of monetization and maybe a paid sponsor. Other than that, I don't really care if my channel blows up to be 1 million views. It'll never get that way. I don't think I'll ever get up to 10,000 subscribers. Maybe, I don't know, but I care less. I want to be here to encourage and support people and share my journey and be with my fellow carnivore family. That's what we are. We're like a family. And that's one thing it is that I am grateful for this. And Aaron says, I might be as tall as Rick's ankles. Yeah, Rick is pretty tall. I believe he is the tallest carnivore. I guarantee you, he is a lot taller than Dr. Sean Baker. He's pretty tall. Even myself, 6'3", I probably have to look up to Rick. I think probably the only other tall person that probably that in history would be String Bean. That he's pretty tall and slender. I think Rick beats him as well. Love the side by side photos of Rick and all the people. Absolutely, all those people you see, you definitely can see him beside Doctor Nelson. Doctor Nelson is short. I mean, I even have pictures of me and Doctor Nelson, and Rick over towers Doctor Nelson. And I like the side by side picture of him and Dr. Sean Baker when he went to Hack Your Health, and Dr. Baker's pretty tall man. Rick is taller. Aaron says it gives me a good perspective on how tall everyone is. Amy said, "Hi, Amy. Yeah, no, no, that's all right. You got to do what you need to do. I have other live streams. I have two other live streams before I take my breaks, so it's no big deal. You got to do what you need to do. You're getting this coaching thing, and you got, if this is the only day, don't worry about it. You got to do what you got to do. It doesn't hurt my feelings at all, no matter what, because we're all here for you. And you about done with this, congratulations. And I'm looking forward to seeing how your coaching journey goes. And I'm definitely looking forward to watching, besides watching Butterball live, I'm going to be watching your interview with Helix tonight, Amy. So definitely, definitely don't worry about it. You got to you've been working on this for a while, and if this is the only day that you have, that's so be it. And I'm beyond grateful that you did stop by. So no, it's no big deal. And Aaron said, I hope it went well. The same here. And guess what? Yay! I wish I had some sound effects. So that's one thing I am going to be learning. I guess I can do that, but I would love to have like what Rick and everybody do. And eventually I'll learn. But congratulations, Amy. You are now officially a PhD coach. Uh just like Aaron says, woohoo! Congratulations. Rick said, Milton will not stop attacking me. Oh boy. Aaron says, it's because you taste like meat, Rick. I wonder if that's it. He's a carnivore kitty. And Rick says, LOL. Oh, well, we got 15 more minutes before Juliet gets off. I am going to go ahead and step off of here, and I'm great that everybody stopped by. No matter if you're here, if you're here late, I'm glad you stopped by. Congratulations, Amy, on your passing the PhD final. We're looking forward to seeing how your coaching journey and your coaching business and on as coaching as a health coach. I'm looking forward to it. I'm definitely looking forward to meeting you in person in October at Keto Palooza. I hadn't decided, but I was thinking about trying to do the Chicago meetup, but I don't think I'm going to try to make it because I'm going to try to save much PTO because I am going to go on this mission trip in May. I'm definitely looking forward to that, as I am, changing up a little bit to try to get this weight off and exercising. And no matter what happens, I am looking forward to an incredible next 30 days on how I'm going to do. And I am looking forward to how, if I do have this hip replaced, no matter what, if I don't have it replaced this summer, if it gets done this next coming winter, I'm looking forward to how fast I'm going to heal. And I'm looking forward, and I am looking forward to being held accountable to make sure I have this this accountable for this, keeping fit, keeping exercising and stretch, because I need it. I hate exercising But as we get older, some of us already has that flexibility. But for me, that is not me. I always been a little stiffer, and I think this will be a start. And no matter what, I am going to be, even though the hip may not get the mobility back and I may have to have the surgery, at least my hip area will be a lot stronger. So I'm looking forward to this. And before I kick on, Amy said, "Thank you, Kelly." She is so excited. We are excited. And then real quick, Rick says, "I was trying to listen to two live streams at once while working." Yeah, I was doing that earlier. And Amy says, KPL Keto Palooza 2026. I am looking forward. I am so excited. I still need to I need to get on that travel agent that we use our Snappy gift. I need to get my hotel reserved. So that needs to get done for you. Know what? I'm going to have to really find one out way and before these others get booked nearby. And Rick, as Rick says, you will eventually get leaner. I noticed that, and when I started the carnivore diet, and as I started, yeah, I just got leaner and leaner and leaner. And the thing is like I don't know, the change, but a lot of times, our bodies function a little different. Some of us has higher metabolism, some of us has to change up to boost our metabolism, some of us has to change up to exercise, and some may not. They get their physical fitness by just working, cycling, and that's how we keep limber. And that's one thing about it is I'm looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to this summer because I'm definitely going to start getting out here on the homestead no matter what. I put the homestead channel on pause because you know, not only winter, but hey, I'm going to try to get this hip, and now we have a delay. And now, but if it comes to summer and when it comes to spring, I don't want to be down. I got too much to stuff that I need to get done. So far I haven't had any issues where the hip locked up, the hip where I can't walk. I can be able to do what I need to. So I know that is not going to get any worse. And being on the carnivore diet plus doing this change up is going to help it even better. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how leaner I get because I know I'm at a 40 waist gene. That's where I was in high school. And I know at one time I was 38. I have 38 waist jeans in my closet that I'm so close to get into. And I know at one time that I was in a 34. So I know that I could easily lose weight, but I don't know how much more weight I lose, but I know the weight doesn't matter. It's the inches, and I'm going to go by how I feel, and I'm going to go by how my clothes fit. And that's what I'm going to go by. If I lose another 20, 30 pounds, that's great. And if I can't lose no more, that means that I'm meant to be somewhere in between 220 to 250. So be it. And long as I feel great, I move, I get my full amount of energy. That's all that matters. So I'm beyond grateful, and I want to thank each one of y'all being there for everyone here, for me, not only for me, but for everybody in this community, along with Dr. Kiltz, Dr. Nelson. I'm so beyond grateful for everybody here. And I just want to thank each and one of you all stopping by today. And I'm going to go ahead and officially end it because I'm ready to eat my delicious heart attack thick pork chops and my heart attack eggs. And I don't know what else I'm going to have with it, but I'm looking forward to that. And I'm looking forward to hearing the next probably 5 to 6, 7 minutes. Julia and Doug will be on. So everybody, as I get off of here, go over to her channel, Juliet Edens, and watch Julia and Doug live. So, as I always end my videos, I'm going to end it with this live. Let's be kind, be positive, have a good attitude, and encourage and support one another. Y'all have a great day. God bless. And I'll see you next Sunday on the